today on Divorce Court.
I'm at divorce court because I want to patch things up and make sure that my relationship stays intact like it's supposed to.
Don's not responsible because he would like to be out drinking with his friends instead of being at home with his family.
We both cheated. We even cheated on each other the same weekend one time.
After I had our son, Don got angry and he went and cheated while I was still in the hospital.
Even though I cheated on Annise and I drank a lot, Annise needs to stop acting like she's royalty and show me more loyalty.
I'll marry Don one day if he can grow up to be responsible and get his act together.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Annise Hickman and Donald Lewis. The two of you have been together for 10 years. You have one child together, and Mr. Lewis, you have one child from another relationship. Ms. Hickman, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me, you want to stay together, but you're on a rocky road. So why don't you tell me why you're here and what the problem is?
Well, we're here because our lack of trust. It's really hard to trust Donald. He's been cheating and
Now, when you say cheating, give me an example of when you've caught him cheating or what leads you to believe he's cheating.
So I lost my phone one time, and of course I needed to use a phone, so I was using his while he was asleep. And I had some extra time on my hands, of course, so I'm like scrolling through the text messages. And
I understand.
I seen a text message about him wanting to rub on some girl's fat, juicy booty. So, of course, when he woke up, I confronted him to ask him, you know, what this is about. And he told me that he grew up with the girl, that she was like his sister. But it's like, well, if that's your sister, why would you want to rub on her fat, juicy booty?
Right, yeah. That doesn't sound like sisterly, brotherly sibling behavior, Mr. Lewis. Who was the young lady with the fat, juicy booty?
Just a young lady with a fat, juicy booty, that's all.
That's what I get. That's what I get. I understand, however, later on he made a confession with respect to that woman.
Oh, yeah.
Or was this another woman?
Oh, no, this is another woman.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay, so sometimes we do like these things. It's called confession sessions, where we'll just talk about things that we've done, trying to be open and honest with each other. And so
I don't know if that's a good idea or not. It's interesting. Sometimes. Go ahead, yeah.
So in one of his confession session stories that he told me, he let me know that he was still sleeping with his ex. Yeah. So it was just, again, like another story, like you're still cheating and is doing things that you shouldn't be doing.
So he was doing it on an ongoing basis. He says, I'm still sleeping with her.
Oh, yeah. He let me know that he was still sleeping with her. And
She cheated on me?
Did he have any plans to stop?
He claimed that he did.
Uh-huh.
He claimed that he did, but You
say that you don't feel badly about that because she cheated on you. Tell me about that.
Well, she was, when she gave birth, that she had cheated on me 3 days after she gave birth. She told me she cheated on me in Vegas and that my son wasn't mine.
Let me restate the story, make sure I got it right. You two were together. She was pregnant with what you believed was your baby. 3 days after she gives birth, she says, well, it could be some other guys. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Is that accurate?
No, not completely. So I did tell him that there was a possibility, but I knew when I had gotten pregnant. But because the other person was kind of like in my ear and telling me stuff, I wasn't too sure. Like I didn't know
somebody else convinced you that he might not be the father of your baby?
Only because no. So only because he's seen our baby and he was like, oh, that kind of looks like some of my kids, and just telling me stuff like that. And I'm looking like, you know, when babies are born, they always
they look like anybody.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, you
so
can't tell.
I was kind of like, well, I don't know, and started to kind of question it. But I knew what I had done. And I knew when I was pregnant, but because I'm listening to other people and...
Was there anything important about the timing of your confession to him with respect? 3 days after the baby was born, that's kind of like a wild time to tell some dude something like that.
Well, that wasn't really even part of the confession session. I was just in the hospital. I was kind of sick of him and just kind of just angry with him because he was still out being Don.
Right.
And so I was just a little sick of him.
So I got something for you.
Kind of, yeah. I just needed him to leave for a minute, just give me some space, because he wasn't really being helpful anyways. So it was just like, just leave. And he refused to leave. So I told him something that would make him leave.
Why wouldn't you respect that?
Because my boy was just born, I couldn't leave him. I didn't want to leave him.
Okay, that wasn't a bad answer.
Well, even then, Judge, if I can say, he took that time to go sleep with another woman. And yeah, 3 days after I was in the hospital having our child. So yeah, took that
That's
time.
what tit for tat gets you, though.
Yeah, I guess
You
so.
know, you're doing messy stuff, so I'm going to do something messier. Then they
Fair
go
enough.
out and do something messier, and then all you got is a mess, and nobody ever feels good, and nobody ever wins anything
Fair
because
enough.
it's a big hot mess. Do you believe he's still cheating on you?
Yes, a little bit. I do. Only because he's constantly accusing me. So like I can go outside to and like smoke or just whatever the case may be, or I leave out of the house or something like that, and then so you're going out there to talk to so and so, you're going out here to talk to this person or that person.
Because
And
you
it's
are.
just- really. So my thing is the guilty conscience is always going to speak first. So the fact that you're always accusing me, what are
Right.
you doing?
Why do you think she's cheating? Do you have any solid evidence?
I have solid evidence in the past of it.
But not
like I said,
currently.
the grandpa sitting next to me.
So you're saying the guy that she cheated on was an old dude, is what you're saying?
He just didn't have the walker. But
Really? He was.
he was pretty much, yeah. I'm telling you.
Me and Joe, 60. Be careful. So now I want to turn to the next topic that is of concern to you, Ms. Hickman, and that is the amount that Mr. Lewis drinks. You think he has a problem. Mr. Lewis, you do not, and that's what I want to turn to. Were you drunk and fighting at the bar, Mr. Lewis? Or
I
at least
was,
trying
but
to?
To my defense, UFC was playing.
How many people did it take to hold you back? You're a big boy.
I don't remember.
Ms. Hickman, you are concerned about how much Mr. Lewis drinks. Why don't you tell me how much he drinks and why you're so concerned?
So he drinks quite well. He was drinking quite a bit, and it would be to where like he would go to the store and he'd come back with a pocket full of shooters, or he's drinking
A
like
pocket full of shooters.
yeah,
Was that the little bottles?
the little single
The little bottles,
yes.
a pocket full of them.
Pocket full of them, like
Just on an economic tip, why would you buy a pocket full of shooters? Isn't it cheaper by the big bottle?
it's easier to hide the shooters.
Seriously,
I
though.
can
easier
hide
to
the
hide
pocket
the
full of
shooters.
shooters, though.
Oh.
I can't hide a big fifth.
It's the cost of concealment.
There you go.
I gotcha. I got it. Why do you feel you need to conceal the liquor that you buy?
Well, the now way I can get away with it, she can't say you drunk a half a fifth because she don't know exactly how many of them I drank.
Oh,
But
I
it's
see.
clear when you can smell it.
Right.
But you can't say
How
I drank
often
10.
How often does he drink?
Quite often, at least probably maybe 5
Nights a week?
7, 12 times a week. Quite a bit. I'm just, you know that you're heavy with it, so don't give me the look.
And about how much does he drink?
Like you said, I honestly don't know how much because it's in the little
little
shooters. So who
shooters,
knows
so-
how many shooters he downed on the way from the store? I don't know.
Right. Are you an unpleasant drunk, Miss? There's all kinds of drunk people. Some are happy, some are sad, some are angry. Which one are you?
It usually depends on how I feel before I start drinking.
It just amplifies how you're already feeling.
Absolutely. But usually I'm a good, clean person when I'm drinking. Funny. I'll go to sleep, you know,
Yeah, have a few laughs and then you're out.
basically.
Do you agree with that?
Not really. I think he's usually pretty angry, liable to get somebody pregnant or cheat. I don't know.
Well, what happened in Denver when he had too much to drink?
Oh, that's how he was drunk and he went over to the girl's house. I guess she was probably going to console him because he was angry about what I had just told him about me cheating and he had too much to drink and went too far, and then some months later the girl's pregnant. So.
Okay, but I was talking about the bar fight.
Oh, when he went with some relatives that came down to visit him, and they went to a bar to go play some pool and just have a good time. And at some point he had too much to drink and got angry and started yelling and wanting to fight with the people over at the next table. and the family members that he was there with had to like drag him out of the bar.
Were you drunk and fighting at the bar, Mr. Lewis? Or
I
at least
was,
trying
but
to?
To my defense, UFC was playing.
How many people did it take to hold you back? You're a big boy.
I don't remember.
Does that concern you that you drink to the point where you don't remember?
It does. It does.
Have you thought about cutting back a little bit?
I have. Lately, I have.
Is that right?
I've been staying on him, so yes, because I've been.
Did he go to one of your boyfriend's house and confront him one time while he was intoxicated?
Well, it was actually my house.
Right.
But yeah, he showed up intoxicated.
Well, what were you doing with a boyfriend?
We were seeing other people. He does his own thing. He cheats and does whatever he wants to do. So I'm supposed to sit around and wait for him to.
So you guys kind of come together, and then apart. And
sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it's like that, or sometimes I'll get sick of dealing with him doing his cheating thing. So I'll be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna do my thing too then.
Okay. So what did he do when he confronted the boyfriend?
No, the guy wasn't home, but he came over and he was just like beating on the door. And so to get him to stop beating on the door so he doesn't wake our son up, I opened the door to tell him, go away, go home. He like started to walk towards the door, but I put my hands up to kind of like keep him out of the way, and he like stumbled back. But once he stumbled back and was like trying to get up again, he's like yelling and cussing and showing out, really.
Yeah, so were you drunk, falling down and all that kind of stuff?
I was.
Aren't you worried about your son seeing that?
I knew he would sleep at that time.
Yeah, but it's like once you get into the habit of being that kind of drunk, you
Right.
can't stop it, and one day you'll be that kind of drunk when he's there, and then blue, you know what I mean?
True. I was concerned about it, but like I said, at that time, I was
You were drunk, so
intoxicated.
you didn't care. Gotcha,
I want
gotcha.
the proof.
I want to go now to the issue of parenting, since we're talking about your son, because you two have very different points of view about how that thing ought to be done. What else do you think Ms. Hickman does not have patience for?
Me, for one. I don't think she has patience for something that's not of her liking.
Would you stay in a relationship with an alcoholic? Tell us what you think at facebook.com/divorce court. Divorce Court will be right back. From your perspective, what is the problem between the two of you on the issue of parenting?
My style of parenting, I'm strict. I'm straight to the point, and it's do what I say. There's nothing to discuss. His style of parenting is, oh, please do this, and I'll reward you with this, or want to make excuses, and that's just not the way I grew up. I mean, I've been working since I was a young child, so responsibility and teaching our child responsibility is important for me. And the way he grew up, he didn't really have much responsibility as a child. So
Mr. Lewis, what's your point of view on parenting? Where do you differ from her?
Because she's the bad cop, I'm the good cop. That's how it works. So I try to explain more and not be so fast to scream and yell and just aggressively get at him like that.
Now, are you confrontational? Are you feeding them your frustration and not necessarily being a disciplinarian? There's a difference.
I wasn't raised with back talk. Like, you're not allowed to back talk. If I tell you to sit down and be quiet,
that's what you
should be doing. And so as a parent, that's the way I'm gonna parent. It worked for me.
Yeah, I believe in it. It worked for me.
We didn't get to
what's your problem with that, or you just don't want to be that guy?
I think that it always works out if there's a good cop, bad cop. I think that if we're both bad, then he's gonna be this.
But that's not bad. That's just solid.
It's
you know
solid,
what I'm
but
saying?
It's more patience I have, I believe.
You have more patience.
I believe I have more patience.
So you can have a conversation. He understands what's up.
Right.
Yeah. Do you feel he undermines you, or he's simply you're just leveling out the playing field a bit?
I think sometimes he undermines me, because I could tell our son, you're not gonna go do this since you decided to throw a tantrum. We can cut the TV off, and now you can go sit there and just think about the choices that you're making. I can leave and come back and he'll have the TV on.
Is this true?
To a certain extent, I don't think that it's that dramatic, but I think that I'll try to bend more with him.
Can I just put this out there? You can play good cop, bad cop if you want to, but once bad cop does her thing, don't lighten the punishment.
Gotcha.
You can play good cop, but you don't undermine.
Gotcha.
You with me?
I'm with you.
All right. Y'all so amenable over here, I don't know what to do. What else do you think Ms. Hickman does not have patience for?
Me, for one. I don't think she has patience for something that's not of her liking.
Yeah, okay.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's not that I don't have patience for him, or if it's not for my liking. It's just I don't have patience for being irresponsible. Like if there's.
In what ways is he irresponsible?
He's the only grown man that I know still loses his keys. Or
What?
like just misplacing things that it's like, this is what's supposed to be going on. Like you're supposed to have those. Or even with like, for example, he was supposed to make a phone call back or something. I don't remember exactly what it was about, but it was important. And it was like, well, how come you didn't call them back? Oh, it just slipped my mind. Well, what you mean? It just slipped. Like you gotta be responsible.
You're not being an adult. You're not dotting your I's and crossing your T's. Mr. Lewis, is that accurate? You kind of like let things slide because you know she's got it handled at the end of the day?
I just always feel it's her way or the highway. So.
Not necessarily my way or the highway.
I think I know what the problem is. How often would you tolerate your partner getting drunk? Share your opinion on Twitter and Instagram at Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. Mr. Lewis, Ms. Hickman's complaint is a common one. It is a complaint in which they feel like a tent pole, that they're responsible for holding up everything.
Right.
And they can't necessarily count on you to be faithful. They can't necessarily count on you when they give you a task. They have to be the disciplinarian while you be the good guy. You get doofus drunk out in the way. You behave, because at the end of the day, she's handling her business, and you can kind of just fluff off and not quite be right, right?
Yes, that's exactly. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yes, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. I mean, if it's two adults in the situation, how come we're not both being adults? Why am I only the one playing adult?
Mr. Lewis, I think you're a good guy. I really do.
I hope so.
I think you'd be a good guy. Now I'm going to ask you to be a grown man.
You got it.
Your son is going to do what you do. She's the disciplinarian, but you're going to be the role model.
True.
Don't do anything on any given day you don't want to model for him. And you've got to start now. You've got to start now restricting your proclivities so when it comes time for him to watch you, you have enough self-control not to bring home a bunch of, what do you call them, shooters. You have to train yourself to be in control of yourself so you don't do things that are injurious to the family. You with me? So
Yes,
you got to start now.
I sure am.
Give her a break. You know what I mean? Let her think, but he's my man and he's got it. Not, he's this guy, where is he? He's this guy, he's drunk again. He's this guy, he didn't take care of this bill. It's exhausting being with this guy. I want you to be that man. You with me on that?
I'm with you.
You think you can lean into that and give it to me?
I'll lean in a little bit.
You picked him. This matter is adjourned.
After today, I think I'm gonna try to be a little bit more patient and just try to support him in getting through the things that he needs help with.
And after today, I think I'm gonna just step up and be a better man and not a man about shooters.